Here at the School of English, it's important to us that student learning and student research go hand in hand. We challenge students to engage with academic research from day one of their arrival at Sheffield, and our degree programmes teach students all the steps of a quality research project: formulating a question, collecting data, analysing data, and then presenting findings.
Research in English studies is research into literature, language, culture, but it's also addressing the most urgent socio-cultural questions of our time. We help students develop their research questions in a vibrant and multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary way.
You're kind of encouraged to use various kind of tools to look at text in a bit more critical manner, and I think that all together will mean that the text you look at will be all the more exciting, because what you see at face value might be entirely different when you work with it a bit more closely.
The basics of research are pretty universal, but every field differs in how they collect data and uncover knowledge. In fact, what counts as data from field to field can differ pretty widely. So in linguistics, we might take speech error rates, or collect language comprehension data, or take phonetic measurements, and that's just the tip of the iceberg.
In theatre, we teach that creative practice is itself a form of research, that you learn things by doing that you could not learn in any other way. So, for example, our students design projects that they take into schools to test how theatre can be used to help children engage with the curriculum.
So in literature, the data we look at comes from within cultural texts. We might look at those texts through the lens of different philosophical, theoretical, or historical perspectives.
In language and literature, we focus on analysing texts, so our students might learn to collect reader response data or create a hypertext.
Work with the speaker of a foreign language, design a lesson plan to teach English.
Rehearsal observation, the ethics of working with human participants like actors and audiences.
Looking at manuscripts in an archive, analysing cinematography.
Use corpora to look at text speak.
The Hum Lab's been an incredible resource for teaching students some of these skills. They're able to practice applying experimental methodology as they're learning about it, and this prepares them to do their own independent research later on, including an optional dissertation in their third year.
So I use the Humanities Lab, and they have a software called ePrime. It allowed me to design the whole experiment, and then it also helped me to analyze the data and add filter on the data to present it in my final dissertation. I did a cross-modal priming experiment. So basically the participant will hear an auditorial prime, and then they will see a target word. The word will be in Chinese orthography. It will appear on the screen. And what they have to do is to decide whether what they see is a real word in Chinese or a non-word in Chinese. I was looking at whether the coronal sounds, so it's basically sounds produced with tongue tip or tongue blade, whether these sounds are represented in the mind.
So this past year I've been researching the acquisition of a specific linguistic structure called middle voice in children who are acquiring Italian as their first language, and I've studied their comprehension in children who are 4.5 to 6 years old.
Starting their second year, students can put those research skills to work through on-campus research assistantships and programmes like SURE, which is the Sheffield Undergraduate Research Experience.
Out of the SURE project, I think I got a really great research experience. I learned how to kind of manage my own inquiries and to work out what I wanted to study and how to pursue those different questions. I looked into the reclaiming of silenced voices in Nigerian theatre, which was a topic I came up with based on sort of 2 modules that I'd done in my course. One was about political theatre and the effect it can have on sort of changing societies, and the other was looking at post-colonial theory.
Our students graduate as inquisitive and creative thinkers, perfectly positioned for entering the working world or for further study.
We foster students' own research projects as they come, as we guide and accompany them. We also provide a research environment which fosters sort of cutting-edge research at all levels within English studies.